Hi, my name is Ruben. I'm with Launch IT Solutions, and today we're going to talk about backups. All right, today's agenda. We're going to discuss why backups are important, RTO versus RPO, what are air-gapped backups, the importance of cloud and offsite backups, and then our recommended setup for your network. All right, so why are backups important? So drive failures. 50% of drives are going to fail within the first 5 years. Now, back in the day when spindle drives were prevalent, now these are the little, like the bigger drives or 3.5-inch drives that have little disc in them, the platters. If there was one of those that went bad, we could send it into a data recovery company. The data recovery company would crack it open, replace whatever parts needed to be replaced, and they were very successful on getting that data off those drives. Now, it would cost you several $1,000s, but at least you were able to get the data off of it. Nowadays, with solid-state drives being so prevalent, it's much more difficult to get drives or data off those drives should one of those drives fail. So, very important, especially nowadays, to back up your data. The idea is to have a duplicate of your data somewhere else, right? All right, ransomware attacks. Ransomware attacks are, a reality of our lives now. And if your computer or server gets hit with ransomware, and if you don't have a backup that's accessible, then you're going to have to end up paying that ransom, or be okay with losing all of that data. Obviously, there's theft and loss. Losing a laptop, having a laptop stolen. Somebody coming in your office and doing a smash and grab where they steal laptops or desktops and then run out the door. It's happened. And then there's fire and flood. Obviously, if you have a major flood or your building burns down and you don't have any type of off-site backups, then that's something that could really put you out of business. All right, so what is RPO and RTO? So RPO stands for Recovery Point Objective. Now, what does that mean? That means how far are you able to recover a deleted file from? For example, and this is really a discussion you need to have with your current solutions provider, your current IT provider, is, hey, I get this all the time. Hey, could you please recover a file from last Tuesday because the employee overwrote it? Sure, no problem. So we'll go back and, it's a week ago. No problem, go back and recover that file. However, if that same customer says, hey, a file we've been looking for is missing. The last time that employee remembered accessing it was about 9 months ago. Can we recover a file from 9 months ago? Maybe. So I try to have these conversations with my customers. I need to have them tell me what's an acceptable time for us to store their data once it's been deleted. Now, hey, we're not going to just, it doesn't mean that data that's on their server or their computer is just going to go away. What I'm talking about is if somebody deletes a file, and let's say they deleted it a year ago, are you expecting them to be able to recover that file from a year ago? If so, then no problem. We can do it. There might be additional storage costs because in order to store that deleted data, we need to pay storage costs. So, like I said, it's a discussion you need to have with your current IT provider to define what your current RPO is. Now, recovery time objective is, let's say something does happen. Let's say your server hard drives blow up, whatever causes your data to just be inaccessible. What is a recovery time that you're okay with? Is 12 hours okay? Typically in the past, we've been able to get our customers up and running within 12 hours during an outage or some sort of a ransomware attack. 12 hours seems to be our go-to. But sometimes, with larger clients, with larger data sets, I could see that turning into 24 hours or 72 hours. I've had a customer tell me that no downtime is accessible. They have, in this particular client, they have files that customers want. And if those files aren't accessible when the customer needs them, they'll go to a competitor. So to them, no downtime is acceptable because they need to have those files ready, within within minutes to be able to send off to their customers. So we came up with a solution for them where there would potentially be a 15-20 minute downtime, but they're happy. If their server goes down, we can have them up and running within 15 to 20 minutes, and that's a great solution. But all the solutions like that cost money. So, what are air-gapped backups? So back in the day, I would say prior to ransomware, your typical backup solution looked something like this. It was external hard drive plugged into a server, and your backups would basically just go to that external hard drive. Now, the problem with that nowadays is that, let's say, for example, a bad guy, gets access to your server and they deploy ransomware. Well, not only is it going to encrypt all the files on the server, but it's also going to encrypt the files on your backup drive. So it kind of renders your backup unusable at that point. So having air-gapped backups is huge. And what does that mean? We basically put an appliance in our case, we offer appliances to our customers. Every single one of our customers has one of these NAS devices on their network. And the backups no longer go to the external hard drive. They go to this network attached storage device, or NAS device. And so that NAS device is not physically connected to the server. It's accessible over the network. And not just anybody can get access to it. There's a certain set of credentials that restricts access to that NAS, so that only the backup software can get access to that NAS and nothing else can. So it really keeps your backup safe. So in case somebody does get access to their server, they can encrypt the server, but they can't encrypt the backups. And therefore you can recover and then not have to pay that ransom and be back up and running quicker. So the importance of cloud backups, obviously theft and loss. Like I said, if somebody does a smash and grab into your office, I'll tell you a quick story. I had a friend of mine who was a kind of a business consultant. He worked out of his house. Everything he owned was on a computer and a backup drive that was in his computer. He and his wife went out of town. They broke into his house and then stole his computer and the backup drive. So he literally lost years and years of work. We're talking about a business consultant that basically, he had all these manuals and all these to-dos and all these processes written down that he'd created, and it was just gone because he didn't have any offsite backups. If he had offsite backups, then, hey, you can always buy a new computer, you can always buy a new laptop, you can always buy a new external hard drive, but recreating that data, retaking those pictures, it's impossible. You're never going to get it back to the way it was, and if so, it'll take you years of your life to do so. So offsite backups are key in that situation. Obviously, if his house had burned down, it would have been pretty much the same thing. And then there's some companies, for example, some companies like medical companies, the law says they need to protect against fire, theft, flood, and any type of issues, whatever that's going to bring them down. So they are required to have offsite backups. So in case fire, theft, and flood happens, they can still access that data. And if you're let's say you're a single business owner, single user, realtors are good at this. Maybe somebody who's got a single backup or a single computer that they work off of. OneDrive is a really great solution for those people, or Carbonite. A really good solution for like single PC operators. All right, so what is our recommended setup? We basically already discussed it. Local backups to an air-gapped device, it's a NAS device. All of our customers are set up like this. We also set up with a cloud backup. So in addition to backing up to their local NAS device, they're also backing up to the cloud. So now we've got 2 copies of their data beyond the original source. And then, and with some customers that offer that use Microsoft Office 365, we also encourage our customers to get cloud-to-cloud backups. Now, with 365, Microsoft backs up that stuff for 3 months. So if you delete an email, if you delete a document, if you delete something from your OneDrive or something from your SharePoint, Microsoft lets you recover that for up to 90 days. But beyond the 90 days, you have to rely on your own cloud-to-cloud backup solution for that. So we do offer that. So here's our call to action. All right, so not sure what your current backup situation is at your office. We offer free evaluations. We can come out to your office or dial in, tell you what your current backup situation is. I've had, I'll tell you, we've had situations. We walked into a customer's office and they're like, yeah, we got backups. And it turns out they hadn't had backups in 3 months or 6 months. Or sometimes I heard from a friend of mine that he went on there, they hadn't had backups in 2 years. And the problem is they didn't really have anybody managing it. The office manager was swapping out drives but had no idea that the backups weren't even running. So it's a good idea to get a good handle on that. Make sure you guys are protected, because it's not a matter of when the hard drive will crash or if the hard drive will crash. It's really a matter of when it's going to crash, because everything needs to be monitored and managed. So if you don't have somebody monitoring and managing your backups, you really need to get on that. So let's say, for example, you're new or you're starting a new business and you're looking to implement your very first backup solution and you really don't know where to start. We can certainly help you with that. We can come out and design a solution for you guys. It's just something we do. And if you have any other needs beyond, any other IT needs beyond backups, give us a call. That's what we do. We're a managed service provider, and we actually offer a full security stack, which includes backups to all of our customers. If you want to learn a bit more about it, just reach out to us at info@launchits.com or give us a call at 480-999-5468. I hope this video has been useful and helpful. Thanks for listening.